I wonder what comes to mind when you hear the word minister when we're thinking about the church. I wonder if you know what the word minister means for us in the Methodist Church. To set the scene, the Methodist Church started as, and continues to be, a lay led movement. That means that the leadership and direction of the church doesn't come primarily from those we call ministers, but instead it comes from the lay membership of the church. Ministry in the Methodist Church isn't just done by ministers, but rather it is the work of the whole people of God, the whole church. That includes you. The word lay simply means, in this context, not ordained. We'll come to that. But it includes everyone in our churches, from the people who hold the keys to the people who lead worship, from the people who help keep the building clean to the people who pray in the background. Every member of our church congregations and communities has a part to play. Occasionally, these people are employed or paid for their work, but mostly they are people who volunteer their time and energy to serve in the church, to celebrate and show the love of God through their worship and activity. The people we call ministers in the Methodist Church are called from within this laity. They were, and continue to be, members of the church, seeking to use their skills on behalf of God, but have been discerned, tested, trained, and commissioned to do so in a way that sees them be more visible representatives of the church in distinct ways. So, who are they? And what do they do? Well, here in the Methodist Church, we have two orders of ministry. That's two groups of ordained people we call ministers. One order is what we call presbyters, and the other we call deacons. And we have both actively working and serving in the circuit and churches here in the Nottingham North East Circuit, alongside our laity. In the Methodist Church, we don't do hierarchies between our ministers. Neither deacons nor presbyters are more important than the other. They take on different roles and responsibilities. Both are real and fully qualified, and worthy of the title of minister for the work that they undertake. And they all bring something important to the table to help the church thrive. Ministers, both presbyters and deacons, can often, but not always, be recognized by the wearing of a collar and or a large cross. These people are what we call ordained, which means they have been recognized by the church as having gifts and a calling to be set apart, to give their time and energies to helping the church achieve its mission of sharing God with the world. This provision means that they are usually given a stipend. That's the things they need to live on, in terms of housing and an income, in order to allow them to devote more time to serving the church rather than having to self support their ministry. Both orders of ministry are equal, both are ministers, and both fulfill important roles in the life of the church. Both presbyters and deacons have a calling to share the gospel and to help people understand the good news of Jesus through explaining the Bible. Both presbyters and deacons, as well as a number of our lay members, use their gifts from the pulpit to help us to meet with God and encourage us to go into the world to love our neighbours. Both presbyters and deacons can lead ceremonies for the big occasions in our lives, including baptisms, weddings, and funerals, and are willing and able to journey with churches and communities through important life events, praying with us and supporting us. In fact, on the surface of it, there are very few differences between presbyters and deacons in what they can do in the life of the church, and they often wear the same or similar clothing when they're on formal business. They are equals, who are equally equal with the lay members within the church. There are just a couple of things they do within their ministry that make them distinct. For presbyters in the Methodist Church, alongside preaching, their distinctive roles are the shepherding of congregations and those who come into our churches, officiating at communion and welcoming people to the Lord's table, and overseeing the business life of the church in an administrative role. Deacons aren't called to lead communion, nor distinctly to the administrative life of the church, but again, alongside proclaiming the gospel, they are called to a rhythm of life and prayer, as members of a religious order, as they discern how to help the church to open their doors to those who need to hear the good news in our communities, and to actively engage with serving the community around the church. We have both orders of ministry, presbyters and deacons, actively working in our circuit and churches alongside our lay members. It's only when we all work together that we are best equipped to see transformation in and around our churches through God's love. I wonder what comes to mind when you hear the word minister when we're thinking about the church. I wonder how we can recognize and celebrate all of our ministers and the ministries of all of our members. All of us, together, sharing in the ministry of the whole people of God in the life of our churches.